Hey guys, so I started recording this podcast about a week ago, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have this episodes recorded. I already know what I want to talk about. That it is, blah blah this, blah blah that." And I do still have some degree of what I wanted to talk about and share, but also I think so much has happened in just a week's time that I've personally been dealing with things that are causing me to grow, things that are annoying me, affecting me deeply, and so much more. And it's just what's interesting to me that right before I was able to finish recording my first podcast episode, girl, life just said, "Well, bitch, I got some shit for you to talk about, and these are things you definitely need to address." So, I don't know. We'll start there today. But what I do want to say is that this podcast, Growing Celestially, um is not an endeavor that I'm taking lightly. I don't know. I really do want to see growth for not only myself and my closest loved ones, but all of humanity. I feel like we've been here long enough to be circling the same pots. And, I'll be damned if I die without at least trying to push the conversation forward. Get some people to remove their heads out of their ass just a little bit more than what it is, so that we can start having real conversations, start actually seeing each other as human beings. And even beyond that, we are all, as my friend Malik always says, we are what spiritual beings living a physical experience. So I think if we really looked at ourselves as these beautiful entities and gods and goddesses and energetic creatures that are just in this physical form trying to make the best out of this experience, I feel like that would really change how we interact with each other, and how we continue to live our lives, and how we even view ourselves, and how we just move forward in existing. So that's the main thesis, I think, behind why I really wanted to start a podcast where I just talked about like life, the things that I've learned, the things that I've learned through others, have others come tell their stories, talk about very important things that I think are like topics that are maybe brought up that aren't really always talked about. Also, my my love for the zodiac. I love talking about that. So you'll get like a little bit of everything. I think if this podcast is sorry, I'm drinking beer. um, yes, I'm not an alcoholic, but I do love beer and wine and tequila. Those are my three alcoholic things that I indulge in. Different types of wine, different type of beer, and some tequila, margaritas mostly. Um, but yeah, some fruity tequila drink. That's my judge. That's my that's my sis. That's my things that I get into. But yeah, I think while let me start here. Uh, so the day that I was starting to record this episode, I was in good spirits. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this and da 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 da, boom 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 boom. It's gonna be my first episode. I'm talking about why all I did, all I'm doing, and what the show is really about, and things of that nature. And I was really excited. And I just knew what content I was gonna give. And then out of nowhere, I go to work, and one of my admins calls me by my dead name. Now, if you don't know what a dead name is, it's the name that trans people are used to be called by before they decide on a new name, and they kind of like dead their dead name. They kind of like dead their old name, for better clarity. So I don't necessarily want to say my old name, but let's just say my old name was my old name. And while I haven't legally changed it, I have told everybody at work I would like to be called this. I would like to be addressed as this. These are things that I want to be addressed by. I give people 2 names. I say you can either say Solson, and if that's too much for you, you could just say Soul. Everybody knows how to say S-O-L, Soul, or S-O-U-L, if you have to think it in your head like that. So easy, Soul, right? So I'm actually talking to the admin one day, trying to sign out for some tools or materials that I need, and she is like, "What is that on your name tag?" And I say Solson, and she was like, "So what?" So I thought it was something else, and I was like, "Well, you know I'm trans, so it doesn't show up on my paperwork like that because I haven't changed it yet." She was like, "Yeah, I know, but I don't know. That's just too hard to say. I'm just gonna call you blank, my dead name." And I'm like, mind you, I'm not a very hood person. I'm not too ghetto. I mean, you don't have to be hood or ghetto or anything like that, bitch. I was fucking offended, and I didn't know how to like articulate that in a manner that where, for one, articulating that is hard because I don't know what I'm going to say in a heat of being offended, and this is a place of employment, and if I say the wrong thing, even though I might be in the right, this could still backfire on me, make me look bad, kind of cut opportunities to me. So I have to balance my humanity with my acceleration or moving up at work, and or even just being able to keep my job. And that's fucked up, but I mean, that's what trans people have to do all the fucking time. Like, I don't present too overly feminine because shit, I live in motherfucking Texas. Like, I don't know who I'm going to offend, who I'm not going to offend. I don't know, if I'm going to get complaints. I don't know if I'm going to get somebody's going to pull me to the side and be like, "Hey, so, we support you, but we just want you to start presenting like this because it makes our customer base." Like, I don't want that conversation to happen, because if that conversation happens, I don't know if I would be forced to have to quit, and it's like, girl, I like my job. I like, what I get paid. I would definitely like to get paid more. And that's what I'm moving towards, obviously. But, it's like, dang, I don't want to have to uproot my whole life in that manner because some bullshit from others. So it's like, I just be like, at the minimum, please just call me by the name I want to be called by. I don't need people knowing my dead name here. And I don't need people calling me by my dead name either. That's just mad disrespectful to me. But I didn't know how to address it in that moment, so I left it. I was hoping that she just was either joking or that she just would never call me by my name, and she would just say, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, girl, da 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 da." But we get to, so it's the day that I recorded already, this episode that I'm re-recording now. I went to work. I'm in the back, and the lady comes through the back, and she's like, "Hey, dead name, how are you today?" And I'm like, I'm literally looking left to right, like, good. And like, I feel myself putting on like I don't know, like a happy voice or whatever, like, "Oh, girl, yeah, da da da," or whatever. And then immediately my mood is like fucked. It's like, I can't think 2 steps without immediately feeling like going back to what the instance that just occurred. I was like, you know, I don't know what goes through people's head. I don't know if they think that being trans is just like it's just a fun thing, or what? Oh yeah, girl, yeah, I'm just trans. I'm just gonna wear this wig, and girl, I'm just gonna put on these women clothes. You know, it ain't nothing. I don't. What the fuck are you fucking thinking? Like, are you sick in the head? Do you not understand? And again, I just got talked to by some friends today. They felt like my delivery wasn't that great, and we can get into that whole topic in a sec. But I just fucking feel like this is my lived experience, and I shouldn't have to break it down to you and explain to you how traumatic that is, and how disheartening, and how bothersome and troubling that is to me, that I can't even come to my place of work and go to an admin, somebody who's supposed to advocate for me and be my next step before HR, to protect me in the workplace. You know, like, if I can't come to you to respect me, then it's like, damn, who can I get to respect me here? Because if I had a problem with another manager, you're the first person I'd probably come talk to. Now I know I can't talk to your ass about shit. So that's one thing. And then 2, we're trans people aren't trans for fun. You know, we're trans because we truly believe this is who we are, and we're willing to risk our lives every day for it. And that's what I do. I go to work. I live in this world. I walk around. I really can't even hide it all to that great anymore, because, you know, I'm developing a chest now. My hair is getting insanely long. So it's like I can't even hide the changes that I'm doing right now. So it's like I'm visible. I feel like I'm visibly trans, visibly queer. And I don't want to be targeted for that. I don't want to be hurt for that. I just want to be able to live my life as normally as possible. And for somebody, especially a person in admin, to say that I'm not going to call you by the name you chosen for yourself because that's too hard to say. Girl, what if I didn't want you saying my, like, I don't know. It just, no, that's not right at all. And you know, there's going to be people that probably might argue that's not transphobic. She just, you know, did it. No, that's completely fucked up. And honestly, another thing, if you are not trans, when a trans person comes and tells you, hey, that was transphobic, you do not get to say, oh no, that wasn't transphobic. They didn't mean it like that. No, that is not your place. You're not a trans person. You do not get to say what harmed the community and what didn't harm the community, or what harmed somebody else and what didn't harm somebody else. I'm Black. I am not Latino. I can't say that if a disparaging comment was made to the Latino community, or if somebody from Latino community said that hurt my feelings, that really affected me, I can't say, well, that wasn't aimed at you. You don't need to feel that way. No, because guess what? That's exactly how they feel, and they have a right to feel that way. And I just feel like, you know, I know this world is going to have a very long time before we get anywhere near justice for trans people and trans rights. Literally, I just want to give y'all, I didn't even do the fucking research on this, but how many trans women was killed this year? I'm looking it up right now. Damn, 42. This is a record-breaking year of trans women that were killed this year. 42 of them. I'm sorry, I just started looking at the article, and it's honestly sad. It's from all around the world, and these are only the girls and boys that are being identified, whether somebody could chop their body up and sent it down the river and nobody has found them yet. Somebody could have, the family could have buried them as their dead names, and that's why it's not getting reported properly, because the family was ashamed of burying their trans relative or something like that. All types of bullshit. I told my mama already, if you put my dead name on my tombstone, girl, it's over with for you. My spirit is coming for you because you already know how I feel about that. You already know that I don't want that. You know, don't be burying me dressed as a boy. That is so disrespectful to who I am who I am, not even as a human being, but as a spirit, as a fucking just as an entity. You know, like I've told you I told you many a times who I am. And for you to go against my own wishes as an individual on the way I wanted to be buried is just disgusting. Disgusting. And it's so sad that so many trans people have to go through this. At least 350 trans people have been killed globally in 2020. And killed, not died accidentally or nothing. No, they've been murdered. And that's of the ones we know. Like, I don't think anybody understands. I don't think if you're not trans, you don't understand the everyday, I don't want to say fear but it's real, like the everyday fear and concern that I have for my own life. Like, bitch, I can't even walk into a parking lot at night, and I know most women can't either, but I'd be like, girl, I just have to turn my brain off and just continue to live life, because if I let myself think about it or dwell on it, I'm gonna have crippling anxiety and I'm not gonna be able to live, you know? So it's like I just have to almost make myself comfortable with the fact that I'm just one of the most targeted groups in the world, and I'm just supposed to be cool with it, and I'm not supposed to be upset about it, and this is the life I chose. No, it's not the life I chose. I should be able to just live how I want to live without having to fear death. It's not like I signed up to be in a damn army. Shit. I can see if I was living with crippling fear from dying in the army. Well, bitch, I signed up to be in the army. I didn't sign up for this shit. You know, it just happened to me. And now I'm just trying to be honest and truthful to myself and live out my truth. But that doesn't come free. You know, that comes at a cost. And you know, so when she did that, it just bothered me throughout the day. Luckily, I went and I told my manager how I felt, and she immediately made sure that I felt secure in voicing those issues, and also assured me that that's not the company policy, and also said that she will be talking to the admin herself. And again, I appreciated all of that, because that showed me that like my concerns matter, my humanity matters, how I feel matters. And you know, it's honestly hard to even believe that I do matter sometimes, just because how media treats me, how society has treated me, how my family sometimes treats me, like, you know, and it's so hard to figure out how to assert yourself in some of these instances without not ever talking to these, with, you know, still trying to keep a relationship. Like, you know, I told myself I want to move forward in love. I don't want to move forward in hate or anger. So I've been very lenient on people, you know, like me and my mom weren't talking at the top of this year. I didn't even go to Christmas at the top of this year, but me and her, we last year, but me and her, we've gotten way better now. Her Christmas present to me was a bracelet that said, dang, I'm usually constantly wearing it, but I was messing with it today. Oh, here it goes. It says, so just a little bit of the backstory. Me and my mother, I came out to her in November of last year after my grandmother passed away. And, you know, we were just talking, and somebody brought up a comment. We were all eating, you know, my mom wanted to treat us, like take us out to eat, to kind of like talk to us about how we felt about our grandmother passing away, and kind of just show us that she supports us, because it's not her mother, it's my dad's mother, and my dad and my mom are separated. Oh, well, they're divorced, and my mom's remarried, so she just wanted to make sure that we knew that she still cared about us losing our last grandparent, because we don't have any. All of our other grandparents have passed away. So we're talking during this dinner, and we're at this seafood restaurant. I don't even know how I got to this, but somehow my mom asked me something about like, do you want to be a girl? I don't know, something like that. And at the time, I was just like, well, I mean, might as well tell her, like, But I'm not thinking she's gonna go crazy. To me, in my head, it didn't make sense to me why people were making such a big deal. I was like, girl, I'm gay, so, and I'm very feminine, so I don't know what the big difference is gonna be. I see more now what the big difference is. Obviously, it's a whole gender and a whole name change and things of that nature. But it's like, we can go into more of this. I just didn't feel like people should care, because it's like, you weren't really seeing me through the hard times. So it's like, why are you so concerned now? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been through so much shit in these last 4 or 5 years of my life, and most people have not been there. And I feel like in a lot of times, unfortunately, I did feel like my mom wasn't there for me. And a lot of these times, like, in a way that I would have wanted her to be, or I felt like I could have went to her about. So I was like, I don't know why you so, I just didn't think anybody was going to be pressed about me being trans. I just thought that was going to be me, it was like, oh, they just living their own life. They doing whatever they want to do, whatever, we just not that pressed or too bothered about it. But we got into a big argument. Oh, well, no, she said she was cool with it that day too. So that made me feel good. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to move forward. I started making posts about it. We get into this big argument one night because she says that, you're not explaining nothing to me, and my coworkers found out and I was embarrassed. And I heard embarrassed and went left, because I was like, why would you be embarrassed of me? For one, you said you loved me, and then also I found out that my sisters, like, everybody was talking about me behind my back and just trying to piece together why was I doing this, and they tried to make it seem like I was doing this for male attention, and that really boiled my blood. I wanted to cuss everybody smooth the fuck out, because there's no way in my life I would be making such a drastic change, literally putting myself in the line of fire. Literally, I thought doing this, I wouldn't have men. I would never even speak to another man again, because what, nigga, I didn't know niggas like trans women. Like, I knew niggas like trans women. I didn't know men, black men, white men, all really would actually have an appetite for trans women. Period. I didn't think I would see anybody be with anybody for perpetuity. I just thought I was gonna be trans and just live my life and be alone. And I was actually kind of comfortable with that thought. So I'm like, why would y'all say I'm doing this for a man? That's so messed up of y'all. So I just went off on my mama. We went off on each other, and some things were said, and I just told her, and she kind of like just kicked me out of her life, and I said, well, girl, bye. So we stopped talking for months, and we eventually got back better, talking again, and slow but surely, I went over to her house one day. We had a big talk again, where it was about to develop into an argument, but I said, let me hear her. So I heard her, and I hate that I had to do that, because again, I just believe the person that's being victimized in a situation, the person that's going through the minority, should not always have to hear out the quote unquote oppressor, or the one with the bigger upper hand in the situation. Why do I have to hear you out and make you feel good about the situation? I'm the one whose literal life is on. It's being risked every time they live just as who they are. So it's like, why do I have to continue to give to you? Why can't you just step outside of yourself and give to me? Let me have this moment. Support me. Especially if you say you love me and care about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. But no, after that, she had done better. She's been doing better with like not calling me by my dead name anymore. Everybody in the family, for the most part, has been doing better, about the immediate family at least. Actually, it's funny enough, I went to go be with family in I have a lot of my family's in Brenham, Texas. and or Washington County, really. We in the woods, on my mom's side, and we went out. I went out there to go see them. I haven't seen them in months because of the pandemic, so we just are like, loving on each other, talking. Da 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 da. I go see my cousin Brandy, who's more like an auntie because she's just an older cousin. Um, but she's just like, I didn't think you was gonna be a pretty girl, but I can see it. It's all right. I really thought you was gonna be an ugly girl. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was screaming because I I know I'm attractive, and now I do. I mean, I didn't know if I was gonna be attractive or not. I thought I was gonna be what's it called? A rock, a brick? Yeah, I thought I was gonna be a brick. I thought I was gonna be mad ugly. I know that's not the case at all. Niggas prove it to me every day. So I would try to also use the word men because I don't want people to think that I'm just talking about one particular type of man. I'm just talking about all men in general. But I get proven every day that I'm not ugly. So it's just crazy to me though that it was just like even though it was kind of messed up because she was like, I thought you were gonna be ugly, but it also was kind of comforting that I think she started to see the vision of me, and it started to make her more comfortable, and she begged me to stay and hang out with them longer. But I had a friend's event to go to that night, and I already had promised that friend that I would be there weeks and weeks in advance. And this trip that I did to the country was just like last minute, so I went to the trip in the country. But I don't know, that was a beautiful moment for me just because family had been so I was so scared of their rejection because the girl in the woods, they country and they black, and they religious. I just knew nobody was gonna rock with me, and I'm sure they have their qualms about it. I'm sure everybody in my life, close or not, has their qualms about it. Trans is not the most comfortable thing for everybody, but people have been doing their best job to try to make me feel comfortable the best that they can, and I'm trying my best to be very understanding with that and just be comfortable with the level of progress that's being made. I think a lot has been made in a year. So I said all that to say that me and my mom's relationship improved, and over these last few months I've been telling her about things that just been overwhelming me, and I'm constantly just going through just little things, nothing super bad or anything like that, but just things I would like to reach out to my mom and tell her about, girl, this is annoying me. Oh, girl, this ain't happening. Da 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 da. So for Christmas, she got me the sentimental bracelet that says, "Whenever you feel overwhelmed, remember whose daughter you are and straighten your crown." And anybody who knows all the trials and tribulations I've been through with my mom, and especially over this last year, and how devastated I was that our relationship had became so sour because it was going so good at first, and then the trans thing just seemed to have derailed it, and it was like, well, damn, we had already been through a lot, and then we came through and we were doing so much better, and then now the trans thing seemed like it was going to be the thing that just put a nail in our coffin of our relationship. And she openly decided to reciprocate love to me and acknowledge me for who I am. And I didn't even necessarily feel comfortable. This is another thing to do with internalized transphobia that I feel like it's put on me by society, but I didn't even feel comfortable with her calling me her daughter because I didn't see I didn't think that she would want to call me her daughter. So I didn't want to force her to call me her daughter if that wasn't something that truly she felt. And I remember earlier this year she asked me, send me a picture of you so I could put for Daughter's Day, and that surprised me. She wanted to post it for Daughter's Day, and that surprised me. But I really didn't believe her. I didn't, so I was just like, nah, I don't want to do it. And also, I just didn't think I looked pretty enough. But because I just hadn't taken no cute pictures recently. But no, she wants to view me as her daughter, and that makes a world of a difference in my life. That means a lot to me. I don't want to get emotional. But yeah, on a further serious note, I really hate that this episode is so heavy. I didn't really mean for it to be heavy. I didn't want my first episode to be like this. I want it to be fun. I was gonna talk about my chart and things of that nature. But I'll still do a little bit of that. Y'all definitely hear about my chart as we go throughout the season. But I just wanted to kind of, I don't know, put that down as like the first starting point of, I guess, the main thing that's concerning me in my life, I think, right now. And I think it is accurate to concern me, you know, like with 350 trans people being killed this year globally. I mean, I don't have this direct statistics for how many of them was just black women and how many of them was just in America. I know of 2 trans women. I don't even know their name. 2 to 3 trans women. I don't even know their names that died in Texas. I think 2 were in Dallas and 1 was in Houston. I've been on social media for a while, so I haven't seen the names. I'm just now coming back. But when I was in the summer, I was constantly getting every week or two, I would get a new update of like a new trans woman that died, and then a couple of days later it'll be like they found another trans woman dead, and then a couple of days later they found another trans woman dead. And it's like, oh my god, oh, that was just heavy for me. But I think I want to make sure that I feel like I do need to say this. So and at the top of this year, I had disputes with my family. I didn't go to Christmas. Speaking of, I'm still mad about that $72 bottle that they drank. I left a bottle at my mama's house. That was $72. It was a sparkling rosé, and I was going to drink it for Christmas with family. But girl, when the party went away, I mean, when I didn't go to Christmas, I was expecting them not to drink my bottle. But I guess I was expecting too much because they drank my bottle without me. And I was like, I really want to cuss them out, but I really let it go. But at the same time, I'm really not over it because that was a $72 bottle that I bought for my birthday. I couldn't do anything for my birthday because why didn't I do anything for my birthday in 2019? I don't know. I just didn't do much for my birthday. So when Christmas came, I was like, well, let's do this as a family. And then by that time I wasn't feeling family, so that died. But anyways, that bottle that still is in my spirit, and I just want any family member to know that if you drank it, y'all could put a fund together to give me that bottle again, because that's really what I was owed. I didn't get a sip of my own bottle. But they're gonna be like, well, you should never left it over there, and that was you. And I don't feel like arguing with them. I ain't worried about that bottle. I'll buy me another one anyways. It ain't even that serious, but it's still irking my spirit. But no, at the top of 2020, I was going through immense financial struggle. My car had broken down like 3 times, and in total cost me like close to $2,000 to fix. So I was dealing with that. I just had started paying rent as well, so I was getting used to paying like full rent instead of just like a little $75. Now I was paying like real rent, so I paid real rent. Luckily all the other bills was wrapped up into it, but I wasn't eating, and I just wasn't eating anything. So because in December came, I was dealing with family drama. I was dealing with like immense financial struggle. I was dealing with like a friendship feeling like it had died because the person started to change unrecognizably and also started to like distance themselves from me, and it really hurt because I cared about this person in a very deep way. So it was just like a lot of different layers to like how I was feeling. Also, the friends that I did have, they just felt so distant. Nobody felt like they could be there for me, really, and everything felt kind of superficial. It wasn't deep. It didn't feel like a deep concern or care. And maybe that was just my my mind starting to like craft this story that like you're unloved, you're unwanted, you're you aren't gonna make it through these hard times, girl. It's time for you just to pack your bags and leave the earth. So the top 2020 happens, and it's January the 2nd. I can't make, like, I'm short on rent, so, and I get told blatantly no, and kind of harshly, I felt like no from my roommate, that they can't help me out until payday, just to make sure that I can reach it, and also they told me that they didn't feel comfortable with me transitioning while they lived here with me. Mind you, this roommate is extremely important person in my life, and like outside of just my livelihood, they also have helped me through a lot in my life. Was one of the only people I felt like I could turn to in the world for anything. And when that relationship seemed like it had died, and they full on rejected me and told me if I continued to transition, they would have to move out and basically leave me with nowhere to stay. So it's best that I don't transition. Mind you, I have to say these things while not thinking, because if I say them while I'm thinking about it, I won't be able to make it through. But that kind of really that really fucked with my brain. Like, I left the house and I continued to, at that time I was doing Instacart as well to like help make ends. So I went and I did Instacart, and it was a very annoying day. Traffic, all the places they wanted me to park was just no parking, or parking was tight and weird, and then I had to go do these weird runs. And I'm waiting for hours in the hot sun. I can't blast my AC, because if I spend any money on gas, then that takes away from already the deficit of rent that I have, and I'm not making that much on Instacart. So much was going on that day that I want to say it was a Tuesday. I just had decided that, girl, it's over with for me. I was like, I don't want to. I remember, I'll explain exactly. I remember having to pick up something from the Apple store off of, I stay in Houston, so off of like not River Oaks, off of Westheimer, I want to say that's the street. They have like this really bougie Apple store with right by a Lush and a Bath and Body Works, I think, or something like. It's like a really bougie area or whatever. They have like a Crate and Barrel over there. I think Raw Sushi is close to there. If it's not Westheimer, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But and it's not that far from the Galleria. It's like maybe like 5-10 minutes from the Galleria. But I had to park, and that parking is always tight. So I'm driving around, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like just mad, and I parked my car, and I don't know where it came from, but it like fell into my head, out of nowhere. And I've been suicidal in the past, but not really seriously, just like contemplating it. But I think just because I had such strong religious ties, it kind of kept me from really dwelling on it and thinking about it, because I was like, man, suicide's bad and you shouldn't think about it. But I was like, this time it fell into my head like it never did before, and it was like, girl, you don't have to be here. And I was like, I don't have to be here. I've been dealing with shit consistently for the last 4 years of my life. Since I graduated high school, life has decided to shit on me in every way. I'm tired. I don't have to be here. I don't have to put up with this. I don't even know what the purpose of this is. I don't get it. Nothing has gotten better. Nothing has gotten easier. I am tired. And I'm over here talking to myself out loud at this point, walking to the Apple store to pick up this equipment. People are looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm not really paying attention because I'm so deep in my shit that I can't remove myself from it. But I said, oh no, I'm not gonna be here anymore. I'm over this. I'm over this. I don't want to live anymore. I'm tired of this. And then the whole time in the Apple store, I'm waiting for mind you, I'm in the App Store annoyed as hell because I'm waiting forever for this one item. There's a billion people in the Apple Store. I'm like, damn, like, fuck, can I just get this one item and take it to them? Like, I'm trying to make more stops or whatever. I'm like, why am I even living like this? Why am I working like this? Why am I doing this? Why am I trying my hardest? I've only been nice. I've never been really mean. I never turned anybody down. I've always been there to support people. I've always loved on my family members, my friends, my every strangers. And I get rejected like this, girl, I can end up dead for just trying to be mean. People trying to kill, all types of just running through. Like, I'm talking about, my brain is on 3,000, and it's like the things are compounding. And I think the only thing that silence, once I get the thing, and I'm just like running, like walking to my car, the only thing that silenced all of the immense anger I have felt in that moment was I just said to myself, you know what? All right, I'm just gonna start planning my death. And in 3 years, if this shit does not get better, if this shit does not turn around and be the life that I wanted to see, and even if it's, and I was like, I don't give a fuck, even if it's just a tad bit off, or if it's looking like it's gonna get better, but it's not better yet. At that 3-year mark, I decided on I was 20, it was 2020, but it was a tough 2020. I was only 20, girl, I forget how old I am. I was 23, but I said on my 26th birthday, that's when I'm gonna do it. I already started crafting. I'm over here working the whole day, driving in my head. Like, I don't even know how I'm getting from A to B, really just continuing on with the day, just thinking about how I'm going to do it. Because I was like, I need relief. And I said, you know what? I don't care what's going to happen. Whatever, this rent get paid or not, it's going to get paid whenever it does, even with late fees or whatever. I'm going to boss up, get some more money, move out of the city, move away from everybody I know, delete my social media, delete all of my accounts, delete everything, change my phone number, change my name too, so that it's even harder for people to contact me or to know what's happening in my life. And then I was just gonna live out my life for those few years, live very low, stack my money, use the money that I stacked towards the end of the 3 years before my 23rd birthday to record my music project that I've been working on for forever. Record my music project, recorded like a live session of it, of me singing it live, like do a performance, and then, on my 26th birthday, just tap out. It's depressing for me to say that. And I was just like, I don't want to. I was just talking to the universe at this point. I was like, look, if you're going to continue to put me through this life and you're not going to make it seem like it's about to pay off in any way, I don't want to be here. So either you change something and you make shit work for me, because I feel like I'm trying hard. So either you make shit work for me, or I could just go. I don't give a fuck about the lives I was supposed to touch. Bitch, they could touch the grave with me. And that's how I felt at that point. And I hate to say it, but that's exactly how I felt at that point. I was tired. I felt like I had done everything I could do to live a good life, and to be a good person and to share, and I had all these plans for the future that I wanted to like create for myself. But when that shit feels so impossible, and it felt like I was going to be murdered beforehand, or I was going to be hated for forever by everybody that I loved or cared about, and then turn into like this evil, mean person. I was just like, I don't want to be evil or mean. I was so angry. I was just like, I would see myself, I just see just anger, like I would see people would try to talk to me. I would be incredibly annoyed. I didn't talk to anybody for like 2-3 weeks. when I was going through that. And it was just immense anger that I had. But I reached out to friends that night because I wasn't by the end of that night, I wasn't gonna make enough, right? And I was already set on like my plan. I already had kind of like a rough draft out of my plans to not be here anymore. And they were like, I reached out and I said, hey, I've been doing all this. I've been trying hard. I've ran into some pitfalls. Girl, the only way I could have maybe been better is if I didn't eat for the whole month of December. If I just decided not to eat anything, nourish my body at all. That's the only way I might have been able to like not have to text y'all like this and ask for help. And nobody said anything really. Immediately just cashed at me. And in a way, I don't know if I've ever been able to explain it to them, but I think that saved my life. Because if they would have came at me with critiques, if they would have came at me with anything but support, at that very fragile moment where I was crafting my demise, or I was crafting my suicide, I definitely would have just been like, I would have sent them their money back after they sent it to me, and I just would have continued to plan the end of my life. And so I just want to say thank you to my friends. You know exactly who you are. I love you so much. But while I still was planning on ending my life, it had threw a wrench in my plan. It was like, okay, but there's something here. There's people here who have shown you love and has never turned you away, really. So is this something worth analyzing and hold on to? So I started picking people's brains and asking questions. Like, I started telling people about what happened, and I was like, well, what can I expect? Like, how can I expect things? And I started talking to one of my friends, and I was asking her about expectations, and nothing she was saying to me was fulfilling. And that was so hard for me to take, because it's like, okay, so I'm living this life with other human beings, but I can't expect anything of them. And it was just, so it's like, what? So why care to be here if you can't expect anything of anybody? And like, I was really just trying to decide, okay, so do I need to kill myself or not? What's up? Like, do I need to die or not? Like, I'm really trying, and honestly, I'm leaning towards, bitch, I just want to die. There's nothing here. There's too much that I want to do in this life that I probably won't get to do. So it's like, let me just perish. Let me just die. But it's like, I just continued to, and every time something bad would happen after that point after that point, I would just be like, oh, I can't wait to kill myself, or I'm gonna kill myself, or I know, wild language. I am very sorry if this has triggered anybody. Also, I am sorry if I asked you to listen to this. I didn't know this was gonna be the first episode, but I felt like it was important to speak on these things, because you have to understand the fact that even though you may think that you're not doing anything too crazy, the effect that you have on somebody else's life, because you don't know if you're the reason why they wanted to kill themselves, or why they might end up getting killed or harmed. You don't know if just your little level of support and love could keep somebody there, And people was like, are you okay? Is everything okay with you? When they would ask me that, I would heat up inside. I'd be like, you bitches don't give a fuck. And I was just so, I had never been that angry in my life. I had never been that over it in my life. Like, the only time I was that angry is when I lost all my things in Harvey in 2017. And then 2018, I lost my car. And then 2019, towards the end of it, I lost my mind. Well, I was losing my mind through the whole thing, but, it was just, I going just looking back at those years and hearing and just seeing like all the things I went through, it made sense to me why I was snapping now. But it was like it was so much that I was just that I was being strong through and being optimistic through, that you just hit a certain limit where you just like, I only could be so optimistic. I can only be so happy about the circumstances that I've been dealt. Oh, I can smile about hell. Like, how many times you want me to smile in the face of hell? I mean, like, and I was like, I need a fucking break. I need something to change. I do. I did. I needed something to change. And I didn't know if it was I needed to change, and I was like, I don't know what change. I didn't know what that was going to look like on me, and I didn't know if it was the world needed to change. I didn't know what I needed to change, but I know a change needs to happen if the universe wanted me to be here longer than 3 years. But my mom reached out right before my 23rd birthday, and she had renewed my insurance, my car insurance, and she was like, hey, just so you don't have to find your own just if you haven't found your own car insurance yet, I renewed you on mine. And that was like one of the gestures that first kind of got us back to talking. And we started working on our relationship. But I still was very suicidal until like May, June, where I was just like, I really want to kill myself. And then around something broke in me in May or June, where it just was like, ooh, why am I saying that? And I kind of, not that I forgot why I was saying that, but it's like, damn, why am I saying that? I was like, I stubbed my toe one day and I was like, fuck, I want to die. I fucking want to kill myself. And I was just, I was blown back by why I was saying it. I was like, damn, bitch, you only stubbed your toe. Like, do you really want to die because you stubbed your toe? Like, shit, are you okay? Like, what's going on, sis? And as soon as I did that, for some reason that day, I started to analyze, like, why have I been saying that so heavily? And why do I really believe that? And what am I, like, where am I now? And da-da-da-da-da-da. And it kind of just led into me starting to, like, slowly but surely kind of work my way out of that mentality and that behavior. And a part of me really wanted to hold on to it, because it was like, bitch, you're gonna get your hopes up again that this life is worth you living. Please just stick with the plan. You already had it out. All you had to do was survive for 3 more years. You didn't have to worry about somebody killing you. You didn't have to worry about people disappointing you. You didn't have to worry about not falling in love because, bitch, you plan on dying anyways. Like, you didn't have to worry about I didn't have to expect anything really out of life outside of just making sure that I was good until I reached that 3 years, to where I saved up enough money to where I can record this project, release it on my birthday, and then I will release it on my birthday, and then also pass away on my 26th birthday or whatever. So, I was loosening up. I visited friends in June or July. I spent time with them. They kind of gave me a new way of thinking about life in a way, and just kind of like, not all the way, like I still hadn't grasped it all the way, but they kind of just alleviate some of the pressure. So I was like, okay, let me hold off on the suicide talk, girl, work on that. So I started not saying I want to kill myself as much. Oh, I am so sorry. I went through some traumatic ass shit in August, or was it September? Damn, I really can't remember. One of those months I went through a really traumatic ass event with somebody. It was a Thursday, but I think it was August 13th. It was a Thursday because I think I was supposed to see him Friday. That is so crazy to me. But I don't even know how to say it. Like, maybe sexually assaulted, sexually manipulated, sexually taken advantage of, or whatever. And but I cried about it to a friend. And she held me while I cried, and she told, like, we just talked, and I told her, I said, but I'm gonna get through it. And that was such a wild thing for me to say in that moment, but this is gonna sound so weird, but I feel like going through that instance kind of showed me that I was really strong, and I think I had already reached the worst of the worst. So it's like, even though that situation was fucked up, I was like, I know I'll be able to make it. I know I have other things that I want to. I think at that moment I realized there's other things I want to do in this world, and I'm not gonna let that one instance slow me down. And I think from there, that's kind of like, I think since August I've been more positive about living. And then I think in November, when I took my long break from social media, I think I kind of got more centered on my purpose of what I want to do. And this podcast is, I feel like it's a part of that purpose. Sharing my story, also sharing other people's stories, kind of just taking this as a time to educate and to help all of us grow. Because when I say growing celestially, we are more than what we are on this planet, just in this physical form. But we are the stars. We are space. We are time. We're gods. We're beautiful creatures that come from a combination of generations of other beautiful creatures before us. And we need to hone in on that and really acknowledge that, and see and look at the people's shoulders who we stand on, that came before us, but then also make sure that we clean our shoulders and adjust our shoulders and strengthen our shoulders, so that the people who stand on our shoulders can hold the next generation after them, and it will just continue to hold each other and pour into each other. And I got this ideal from when my grandmother passed away. I don't know why I blanked out. Like, I was at her funeral and I blanked out, and I just saw a picture of her and my grandpa together, and then I saw my other grandmother from my mom's side, and I just saw them looking at me, and they were like in the image of stars. And I saw that, like, their energy poured into my mom and poured into my dad, which poured into me and made me. And it was like, I love them so much, and they have given me so much, that it was almost like a way of telling me that, like, I'll be good. They're watching over me. They've given me the tools, and what they haven't physically given me in the time that they're here, they are on the other side making sure that I receive. And it felt comforting, and I've been feeling comforted by now that I'm in a more solid space. I feel like I've been feeling more confident. Comfort. I don't know how to say it. Dang, I can never. When I get to talking too much, I can't say shit. Comforted. That's, I see. I just can't hear myself. The headphones is fucking me up. I know how to talk, but yeah, I'm feeling more comforted by, like, their energy and, like, their lessons and, like, their love, and, like, I don't know, even my mom's love and my dad's love and my family, my friends, and so I hope that wasn't too depressing of a story. I just want to say all that to say that I am doing much better now, but it does take a good level of support to really see somebody through this life. So please love on all the people that are around you, especially your LGBT friends and family. If you see somebody gay at your store, or gay at your in your life, or visibly queer, just show them extra love. Give them an extra smile. They need it, because there's just as many people that's going to smile at them. There's just as many people that's going to frown, look at them crazy, not want to talk to them, treat them crazy. Like, just give them that extra bit of love. They need it, especially if you want to see them continue to live, or if you just, I don't know, if my story touched you, don't just let it be, you don't have to see me. Go see somebody else that's gay out there that needs some love and care. But yeah. Oh man. Woo, okay, so now that a bitch got that off her chest, I'm just gonna leave you guys today with um just with some thoughts that I think would be cool to think about. We are stepping into a new year. New year, new me, as the memes say. But we really do get a new chance at energy. We're getting a new president, thank God. And hopefully, if Georgia does what Georgia needs to do, we'll have a Senate and a House controlled by the more sensible party. Now, that's not saying much because the Democrats, but it's hopefully a more sensible party, and we can get issues like the COVID-19 virus and the student debt and the wage gap and etc. Solved hopefully in these next few years. But aside from that, I just want to challenge everybody who's listened today and to really go into this new year really digging for your purpose. 2021 is about to be the busiest year of my life because I'm doing all that I need to do to make sure that it is the busiest year of my life and that it's not busy for no reason. I'm actually putting forth my energy into things that I find to be fulfilling and also in alignment with my purpose and the effect that I want to have on the world. So, really look into the effect that you might be having on the world. Are you even doing anything of note? Are you growing? Are you spreading information that could better yourself and your community, your family? Are you what are you doing to enrich not only your life but the lives of others around you? What's the mark that you're leaving on this world? How are you helping everybody else grow celestially? So just think about that. Remember, we're all beautiful. We all have gifts to offer. We all are here for a reason, a multitude of reasons. I don't think we're just here for one reason, but we're all here for a grander purpose than just validation and upliftment of our own needs and wants and success, but also I would say achievement, maybe. I don't know. But we're also here for how we can service others through the things that we have been blessed with, divinely blessed with. So I just want to leave you guys with that for my first episode. I hope you return back next week. I am so sorry if this was a little too heavy. I'm promised that the next weeks are going to be a lot more fun and also more embarrassing on my part. I plan on being very honest. I definitely want to have a more honest, transparent kind of podcast where I just talk to y'all about my life, and when I bring guests on, I would hope that they be transparent as well with you guys, and just be willing to share and talk and have a conversation. But yeah, I love y'all. I really want the best for y'all. I don't know what to name y'all. I don't know if y'all gonna be my little starlights or my little starlets or my little souls or whatever I want to call y'all. But one day I'll come up with a name. But I really do appreciate everybody who listened to the end. Thank you so much for your time. Y'all be blessed and happy 2021. We're gonna conquer this year, y'all. Even if bullshit decides to come our way, we're gonna weather it like we weathered 2020. We're gonna come out stronger for it, and we're gonna use the lessons that we've learned in this time to build us towards our future. I love y'all so much. Thank you. Y'all be blessed.